the more the environment becomes destabilized, the more authority we want to hand over to the experts and the people in charge. And I think that's natural. And I do think that what is palpably coursing through our culture, and not just our own, but in other parts of the world, is a fear. There is a tremendous amount of fear, and the more complex our civilization becomes, the more vulnerable we feel. And I think we see this in popular culture. There have been lots of movies about just various kinds of catastrophe, social collapse. I mean, we're always sort of playing out these fantasies in popular culture, as well as our utopian visions. And I think what we do face, particularly, the more we've moved historically from an agrarian society to an urban society. I mean, I live in New York City, and I can tell you it can be a terrifying place. Normally it runs, every day. It's a miracle that it functions. And when something breaks down, you start to look at your neighbor fearfully. It's like, what would, and you imagine what would happen. What would happen to New York City if the supply of coffee were cut off for one day?
Let's not frighten everybody.
Sugar, something really that people would kill for, So yeah, I mean, I think there is, and this is a threat to liberty. This is a threat to freedom because it requires tremendous fortitude. I mean, it's one thing to have been, Thomas Jefferson, and to say, well, if the currency collapses, I'll just retire to my, to my plantation and support myself. Or even if you had if you were a small freehold farmer and you could supply your own wants. Most of us can't do that any longer, and I think it makes us very vulnerable to the blandishments of centralized authority.